Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Life Coaching by Morella. I'm Morella. I'm a life coach. I'm a mom, hence why I'm called the Life Coach Mom. And I'm continuing my 30-day series on connecting with your family through family fun questions. Today is day 19. I will review the question, go over it, and offer you some deeper insights. I always want to encourage you with some life coaching tips along the way. So let's jump in. Day 19. The question is, what type of weather best represents your personality and why? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs? I have to admit, for the first time, our family was stumped. There wasn't a single answer. We live in Southern California. The forecast is warm and sunny. Sunny and warm, and those two didn't seem like really good options. I'm wondering what your kids will say. I hope that you have better luck engaging them in conversation than I did. What I want to talk about today doesn't have to do with the weather. It has to do with personalities. How do we function as a family, or how do we best function as a family with the various personalities in your home? And here's a couple things that we need to agree on. First is that no matter how many people make up your family, you're one family. You're one family made up of multiple parts. So in my family, there's 4 of us. 4 of us make up one family unit. And that's an important reminder that just because each of us have needs and wants, it doesn't mean it comes at the expense of the needs and wants of the family as the unit. So there's some ground rules that we have to understand when we're trying to function together as a family with conflicting personalities. One is to acknowledge and to accept that we're all different, and it's okay. Sometimes you're going to bump heads. Sometimes you're going to feel frustrated. Sometimes you're not going to like each other, and that's okay, but we still have to demand a certain level of decency and respect, how we're going to conduct ourselves, even with our various personalities. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. So again, acknowledging that we're all different, and then acknowledging that we all have different needs. We all give and receive love differently. And this touches a little bit on the 5 love languages. And if you're not familiar with those, the 5 love languages basically is a way to assess how to express love to your children. And each of them receive it differently. So the 5 ways include time spent with them, words of encouragement. It could be physical touch, affectionate touch, acts of service, doing something for them, or giving them gifts. So if you are hitting your head up against the wall because you're not connecting as much as you would like with your children, I would offer you to look into that, figure out what is the love language that your child will respond to, and then do more of that. But here's what I want to warn you against. Don't let our differences pull us apart. It's easy to allow the frustration that's built up between family members to create a distancing, a spacing apart, and then over time you grow apart. And that's not what I want for you or for me. So how do we maintain a strong family unit? We got to figure this out. We got to figure out a way. How do we stay connected to the family member whose personality is very different, whose personality conflicts with yours? The goal, or the challenge I should say, is to learn how to manage ourselves better. How will we decide we are going to love this person who's creating some tension or anxiety or some stress in the family? And that's what we're called to do, moms, is to figure out, how am I going to love on you, stay connected to you without taking on the emotions of the other person. To have unity in the home, we have to acknowledge that the needs of the unit are greater than our individual needs. And my suggestion for you as a family is to come up with some bylaws, with some ways that you're going to conduct yourself. How are you going to show up when this tension and this stress shows up because there's conflict in personality? Agree on some basic standards, ways of communicating. How are we going to approach each other when there's an offense? How are we going to talk to each other? What's acceptable? What's not acceptable? Is gossip okay in your family? How are you going to govern yourself? How am I going to govern myself? Those are just some basic examples and questions to stimulate your thinking on how you can create your own bylaws to help your family unit. And now it's your turn. What type of weather best represents your personality and why? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will, and I will connect with you tomorrow.